Alrighty, guys. It 3:30. Time to wrap it up for today. And I we got a little bit of a roller coaster going. So we had a pretty good sell-off this morning, and then a nice retracement rally back to the mean here, and it was holding right there, right? Reverse retesting the support, or I should say resistance, as it was after they ran it lower this morning. And then we got they hit the tape this. They dropped that oil license, and I would expect, I guess, the blockade is back on or something. I haven't heard anything specific about it, but I guess they're going to choke off their oil again, and then most likely drop some bombs on them. But I mean, it's like enough already. These guys, you can't really read 2 points on a freaking MOU to figure out that yeah, it's open to be negotiating. Now we don't do this. No, we're going to be shooting as well and trying to do exactly what we or the exactly opposite of what we agreed to do. So there you have it. That's Iranian negotiation for you. Anyway, the market, I guess, took a little dump after that. Nice rotation down, ran right into support, bounced a little bit. We'll see. Chances are we may actually see it take a low, go lower, but we'll see. I mean, that was a pretty good sell-off. I tried to get on it. I have been waiting for an opportunity, but it's too volatile and too much churn going on. Easy to say. I mean, you can try to get on one of these if you want to have a stop at is 450 up to or like 30, 40 point stop. Then you may be able to have a shot at it. Even a 50-point stop would be like 200 tick stop is kind of what you need. And then you're still not safe because these rotations are pretty freaking big. So I didn't have not wanted to step in front of it one way or the other, either on the buy side or the sell side. It's today one of those days you want to go with it when it starts moving, but this churn here in the middle of the day, nothing to trade really there, unless you try to trade the channel. But if you do, you eventually get caught on the way down, or if it starts heading higher, you get caught as well. So it's one difficult day for sure. Net to the downside though. So we're getting weakness. A lot of the chip stocks are getting under massive selling pressure. In Micron has been trading about below the 900 mark for a bit. So it's a lot of pressure going on there. Now, we'll see where they end up. They ran it hard down here into the 330 time. Now they're retracing a little bit. We'll see if they get some traction on the upside. But this Iranian situation is just, yeah, I mean, that's patience, 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 but enough already. Just freaking knock them down to a point where the humility starts coming back on again, you know. I guess they haven't figured that out yet. That they lost the whole thing. But anyway, so I would start off range bound. I would probably keep a slight bias to the downside depending on when they close. If they close above the 75.50s and start range bound below it, I'll start on the short side. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. But I mean, the ES, if you look at capital for, hasn't really taken it a whole lot lower. If they take out the 7,500 before they close, yeah, we're going to be on the short side of this. But right now, we're just still in this range. But if given the overnight and the day session, I would just start with a slight bias to the downside to see if they want to run this lower. So no trades for me today at all. And Nasdaq, oh man, that one is even worse. See, that guy got knocked down and then some. You can see they were all the way down here to that support that we talked about this morning. I didn't think they're going to get that far, but they did, and then some. That tells you about Nasdaq, how crazy that is. And so they were down here now again. They ran it all the way from up here in 2 o'clock hour, all the way back down here again. Now they're retracing a little bit. We'll see where they're going to go in the retracement. But I would say below the 470s, I'm going to start with a bias to the downside. If they can close above that into this upper distribution, I'll be back range bound for the overnight. But watch this lower edge, that 250 to 300 support there on the F1. That comes out, bets are going to be off. It's going to be something else going on at that point. So we'll see. I will not be surprised if there's going to be a little bit of hullabaloo going on in that Iranian situation right now. It would not surprise me at all. I'm just massively surprised that these guys are so patient with him instead of just kind of just giving them a real backhand and figuring out like, yeah, play ball or we're just going to increase this. Anyway, so that's how we get started. But this has been very tradable if you can get in and stay in. That's the whole thing. Get in, you can be right on all the way down here and keep losing money. You get in with bad trade location, reverse back, stop you out. You do it again, they stop you out. and it just churned your account that way. But you have to have a lot bigger stop and be prepared to run through these rotations and tough out the rotations, which is not easy, and especially if you're going to protect your account. Don't making a 200, 250 tick stop and then getting stopped out. That you'll feel that for sure. So anyway, so that's how we get started on the overnight. So looking to sell strength for rotations down on the 470 area. If they can trade up above that, I'll start range bound on the NASDAQ. Otherwise, I'll start with a bias to the downside. For the ES, that level is going to be the 75.50s. ES hasn't been so crazy. NASDAQ is the one which has been the most crazy so far. And then finally, bonds been drifting lower. It's just been kind of slowly drifting here down. Yields going higher, bond market drifting lower. They're down here to the 11.16s right now. So I'm glad I didn't try to buy this area. I talked about that in the last update. It looked to me, well, actually it was this area right here. I didn't quite trust it, and with the way it's been trading, that would be a good support area. And you can see they took it lower and retrace. Here you have another one, nice setup, but no, just a few ticks higher and then another leg lower. So when you have stuff like this going on, you can tell in the action, pre-market action and the overnight action, that this grind one way or the other. So you're looking for a little bit better setups than that, especially when, or you have to try to recognize if the market is generally trending in a direction or not before you try to step in front of the support area. All right. On the cryptos, gold and silver moving like crazy. I've been tempted to trade those too, but you can see silver all the way from 61.5 to 659 and now back up again. Gold has been all the way up here at the 41.60s. They have been now down to 4100, retracing a bit. Oil, as you can see, took a leg higher. So yeah, all the stuff related to the stuff going on in the Middle East right now. So that's where we are. So we'll see. I mean, the good news is, and I think that's very, very, very helpful, is that they are responding to Iranian bullshit. So the Iranians try to be cute about shit. They get smacked down or get a tap, and I'm just waiting for them to get a little bit bigger of a tap so they kind of drive it home that we're not going to put up with this. Anyway, that's kind of where we are. So we'll see. There can be some stuff happening in overnight. You never know. All right, guys, we leave it there. I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. Now, tomorrow morning, we have a little bit of news, I think. What do we have? We have, well, mortgage apps, oil report, 10-year auction at 1, and Fed minutes at 2. So actually not that much. But I think the Fed minutes could potentially be interesting to see what comes about 2 o'clock tomorrow. All right, guys, we'll wrap it there. So no trades for me. I was smart enough not to try to be cute about it today. Sometimes if you do trade it, you'll get lucky with the stops, with the existing stop size. Sometimes you just get yourself chopped up, and it's not fun. So trying to be patient about it, find the opportunities. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back tomorrow morning. Later.